Okay, so I'm live. So I'll go over here. I'll actually do this. And then I will go here and go to my channel. Now we'll go here and pause this. And so here we are. Just watch and see. Give it a couple minutes for somebody to show up in here. That's what I want to do. One watching, okay. And so anyhow, I guess I got one person in here. So this morning, I ran into a video that infuriated me with the lies and the propaganda. Okay, so I did a reply to it. And I opened up my Camtasia Studio. I had downloaded the video, so I got it archived. And I played this video and I paused it and gave commentary as I went. And then I uploaded it onto YouTube. And it showed it went up. And I went to my channel and it wasn't up. I was, what? So I went over to my video manager. And on my video manager, it didn't show it even in the video manager at all. It just didn't exist. I went to my videos that I uploaded and it didn't exist. I said, well, maybe it's a software glitch. Maybe it's in the live stream, even though it shouldn't be. And I looked in the live stream archive and it wasn't there either. And I went back to the video upload manager. Wasn't there. Went back to my channel, didn't exist. And then I find it. Yep, it was blocked. So it never went up. It was blocked from the very get-go. So they don't want anybody seeing the video that I did a reply to. Now, under the grounds of fair use for educational purposes only, I have the right to do that, and that's not a copyright violation. But we all know how YouTube is, Google is. They violate the very laws as they go along, and they make up their own rules. As they go along, they always have. And YouTube, Google's agenda is to go along with the powers to be, with evil, and keep the public from seeing the truth. Okay? So I'm going to give you the name to the video I replied to, and I'm going to supply you a link so that you can go see it yourself. What we have is how empowering women and girls can help stop global warming. That's right. How empowering women and girls will help stop global warming. Well, when I was watching this, what I discovered is we got a woman up here speaking about global warming, which is fraudulent propaganda, complete BS. There's no truth to global warming at all. Never has been. So they're pushing the NWO agenda. And she's not only talking about global warming, she's empowering women and girls, as women and girls are the farmers, the people responsible for bringing food to our plates, okay, around the world. And how they're being held down and how women are not allowed training or education. This is what she's saying. And that we need to stop. And this video is not even old. Okay? And that we need to stop the discrimination against women and allow them to have an education. Allow them to be trained. And how women and girls together will overturn global warming and make this world a better place for everybody. And as the video went on, by the time she was said and done, she's pretty much said man's role. If you're a male, your role is to do the gritty, needy work that the women don't want to get their hands dirty with. And that's the only function you have in society. You will absolutely have no rights at all. Everything will be the woman. She will be your God. She will be the God of the planet. And men, sorry to say it, but you're not even a human. She might as well have advocated for a world without men and advocated killing men off. No lie. She might as well have advocated for that, because that's exactly what she's doing, is advocating for that. All she'd have to do is watch this video in its entirety, and then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the name to anybody that's watching. Okay, I just pasted it in here. There's your name. Okay? Here's your ULR so that you can go watch it yourself, because it seems you can't do a reply to it without them claiming copyright and blocking it globally, and it never goes up. I've deleted it completely off my channel on YouTube because of what they done. No point of having it there. It's no longer on my channel. Didn't go up on my channel anyhow, so it's deleted. It's gone. Because they tried to use copyright. Okay, even though it was fair use, they've had, YouTube makes their own rules as they go. This is what Google does. So they blocked it, never allowed it to go up, so I went ahead and removed it. No point of it being there. Okay, but I did do something else, and I'm going to share this with you. Okay, I want you to have this as well. Just so that you can see what the video I did was and what I had to say. That is my Facebook account. You can go to my Facebook page at that ULR, and I have uploaded my reply to this video up onto Facebook. It is there and it's playable. It's not being blocked by Facebook, at least for now. I have to say that, at least for now, okay? But it was actually pretty disgusting. Listening to this female talk. Oh, she started off the video about going green. And she said some things that actually would be good ideas when it comes to going green. Okay, but then she went into women and girls. And you can tell by the name how empowering women and girls can help stop global warming. She neglected to tell you about how the government paid farmers to not grow anything. That's right, literally shut down and forced hundreds of farmers out of business, paid other farmers to grow absolutely nothing. And what farmers are in action right now in the U.S. is being controlled and told what they're allowed to grow and what they're not allowed to grow. And if they grow anything they're not allowed to grow, they can't sell it on the market. Then they tell you that we're overpopulated and we're using up the resources and that we're running out of food when they've engineered this entire damn thing. Okay? All engineered, deliberately done right under your nose. You know, Willie Nelson was fighting for farmers' rights. And Willie Nelson's a country star who actually stood up to these criminals and fought for the farmers' rights. And I don't care what people say, I've done my homework on this. And if you don't believe me, it don't matter to me because I know this to be factual. Yes, our criminal government paid farmers not to grow crops. Literally made the money they'd made if they'd grown a crop from our government to not grow anything. And other farmers were just completely run out of business by the government and Monsanto's. Then the farmers that were still allowed, that we do have in the United States, they're being controlled by the government and told what they're allowed to grow and how much of what they're allowed to grow. That's called engineering a food crisis that we don't have one. Just like our oil, we have enough oil to run this country for 15, 20 years without pumping a drop stored in this country. We have wells that are absolutely full of oil, but we're not pumping a damn drop. And why are we pumping a drop? Because we want people to believe that we're running out of oil, we're running out of resources when we're not. So here we are with this gal who makes a video how empowering women and girls will help stop global warming, which global warming is fraudulent. Not true at all. But by the time you get to the end of this video, you're going to be very pissed off. She basically advocated that men will have no rights, that we have held women back, and that women in the United States are not allowed to go to school and not given the proper education and not trained. We have more women in college right now getting degrees than we do men. But yet she's spilling the exact opposite. She's leading women to believe that they're still being held down, don't have rights, and that we, the men, are responsible for this. And she even went as far as saying, we, the women, are accountable. And we together could do something because we're accountable. Well, hold on. Women are accountable? Well, let's look at the reality. Men are the ones being held accountable, not women. Women are being excused and not held accountable. Very seldom is a woman held accountable. And any man knows that to be the truth. And she's up there saying the exact opposite. The exact opposite. So I made a reply to this video, and I touched on every topic she brought up that was complete bullshit. And I caught her on her lies as she made the lie BS, BS, BS. Okay? And I post that up on YouTube just for YouTube to block it worldwide immediately. It wasn't allowed to be seen immediately. So this is the reason I gave you my Facebook link. So the link with Facebook is to my channel. The video I made to her, this reply video, is in full on Facebook so you can see it. I also gave you the name of the video and the link to the video on YouTube that YouTube will not allow you to apply to. Reply to it. You will find yourself blocked for copyright violation because they don't want you taking this down. They don't want you telling the truth about it. They want to shut you up. This is another male bashing video by a female, okay, that has went to the extremes. And it's not even that old. So really it is about shutting us up. It's about taking every last right from a man that we have away from us. That's what it's about. If they don't want to kill you totally off, no. Because, see, they need us to do their heavy lifting and their grunt work. They need us to be nothing but a slave while they control and run and own everything and take every last right away from you. You know, I've always said being born a man in today's society, to be born a boy, is almost like a terrorist act. You're not even a human. You're not looked at as a human. You're looked at as a vile predator. You're looked at as a murderer, a rapist, a villain. So really, in reality, when I got through watching this morning, this video ain't even that old. No lie, it's not even that old. When I got through watching this, I was disgusted. I was literally disgusted at what I seen. And it was sickening. It was just outright sickening to see what I was seeing going on right in our face. You know, and how these women get up here and preach this shit, you know. I laughed when she said how women in education, like men are the ones being educated and women are being denied an education. What a complete farce, complete lie. You know, it was just so outrageous. Okay, how she was just slamming the man down. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, men in this world right now, you need to walk away from women. You need to give the women no options whatsoever. She even talked about birth. After all this stuff, she wanted to talk about family and birth. And I'm like, what birth? You'd rather kill men off. Oh, that's right. By the selective few you select that'll impregnate you, then you can claim the baby yours while you enslave him and take all of his rights and tell him he has no rights. No, you don't deserve to have a baby. That's what needs to happen. Women like this, you don't deserve babies. You don't deserve sex. Maybe men should buy sex bots and dolls and replace you women. You know, and that's a sick thing to say, but as sick as this world is, and after listening to her, I would advocate to, yep, go get your sex dolls. Replace the women. Give the women absolutely what they want to give the men. Nothing at all. No power, no nothing. Take it all away from them. Don't give them the time of day. Now, of course, that's just so wrong because it's not all women doing this. But the problem is we don't see women standing up against the women who are doing this. And as long as the women don't want to stand, the good women don't want to stand up against the corrupt women and fight back with the men, then I guess it happens to all women that men don't want anything to do with them. Go look in the mirror, ladies. Maybe as soon as you take your head out of your you-know-what and grow the hell up. You know, I look at a world that's had men in it for hundreds and hundreds of years. We wouldn't have the roadways. We wouldn't have anything that you women are enjoying. The majority of everything women are enjoying was created by a man. And it's been that way for hundreds of years. But they don't want to acknowledge that. They want to take all the credit for themselves. They don't want to give a man any credit for anything a man's ever done. They just want to deny him that. And take all the credit for their own selfish selves and run over the top of you and steal every last right you have away from you. Okay, so no, absolutely not. If this is how sick and psychopathic you are, then you go ahead and be your sick psychopathic self. Because men need to go a pair, no lie. I don't care if you don't like me for saying what I'm saying. You really need to grow a pair. Damn, I got this bug at the back of my throat. It's going to make me cough my ass off here. So I'll tell you what, I'll be with you in a second. I'm going to leave the live stream long enough to go get some water so I can get this bug out of the back of my throat. The man's out there trying to show himself out. The old man's out there trying to show himself out. What did you do? Somebody's walked all the way this afternoon. Don't stop. Still goes up. It's coming tomorrow morning. Didn't do the work after that. That's not doing fall apart. Oh, I know it. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. It's one of them situations. I get a bug at the back of my throat. And then want to make me cough, cough, cough. So I'll take care of that. And so with that being said, I did provide some ULRs for people. If you go to the beginning of this chat, you'll see where I gave you the name of the video, how empowering women and girls can help global warming. Okay, help a lie. You know, it's just like the emissions they're claiming and the CEO, okay, that's causing all this, you know, the stuff we exhale as human beings, that the trees and the plants breathe in. They need to survive, you know, trees, you know, plants breathe in what we exhale, and they exhale oxygen. Do you know anybody that needs oxygen? Oh, I think the humans breathe oxygen. That's right. And exhale CO. I mean, the global warming fraud is just what it is, a big fraud, a big lie. Overpopulation, BS. Anybody that's ever traveled in this country at all or done any kind of traveling knows that there's miles and miles and miles and miles and endless miles of empty land. That ain't cornfields, ain't farmers, it's just empty land. So no, you're not overpopulated. We're not running out of resources. The food shortage is being created by your very own government. And people that don't look into that don't know what they're talking about. See, so, you know, it's all a big lie. It's all NWO, every last bit of it. And here this gal's up here pushing what she's pushing. But the male shaming, the male bashing, and the literally putting men in a spot that they're nothing. You're not even a human. And literally, these women are trying to take all of the rights away from men. Every last right you have as a human being away from you. And only keep the men alive that they want to use for their own grunt work. And pick the few men they want to use to breed with. And then, of course, you already, as a man, don't have any parental rights to begin with. If you get a woman pregnant, you want to have them children, and she decides to go abort them, you have no say-so. You can go to any court you want and try to fight it all you want. You have no rights as a man, and you can't stop her from aborting that child. And people better get that through their thick heads because that is the truth. You know, but it just disgusts me for the fact that I was furiated by the time I watched the end of this. I just wanted to reach through the screen and slap the shit out of her for being so stupid. But remember, I told you the programming. One side of the pole is women's programming, the other side's men. How the globalists done it, and how women are really been programmed for self-destruct. They're like they got this little mini bomb programmed into them to blow up and kill themselves and their children and the men, and to take the men right along with them. Because we already know everywhere women go in society, the men will tag along. So it's not hard for them. So, you know, they put the woman in a self-destruction mode, and the woman ain't even smart enough to figure out that's what she's doing. And so what do we have here? We have this woman preaching what she's preaching, but she's not smart enough to figure out what she just done was caused the collapse of her own society. What she just done was basically killed off millions of men for her own selfish want. It's sick. And then you think a man's going to want to live in this world, you not feel sorry for the little boy. He's going to be raised up to be a slave and told he's useless, he's worthless, he's a possible predator, a villain, a murderer, a rapist. And his only function in society is to do the hard manual labor of keeping society put together for her benefit, while she sits back and rotates and dictates over the top of you and feeds you leftover scraps of bread and water. That's how sick this has become. You know, so there's an all-out uprising and a lot of people dying from stupidity. What can I say, man? Because that's what you're going to see as you replay history. You're going to see people kill each other off over stupidity created by a handful of people at the top, rather than stand together, recognize who your real enemy are, and go after them. Because on a global scale, men and women are rising up and going after these criminals and taking them out of existence and taking everything back they stole from us. But that ain't going to happen when we're in the land of cowards. When you're in a land where freaking people just want to fight each other and be ignorant, dumb, and cowards and afraid to stand up for themselves. I mean, I heard that the other night on that show with Steve Hoka, with that guy from United Kingdom. When he was scared that the powers to be will, that was disgusting. It just shows the cowardness that you're not willing to stand up. There ain't never been a war won anywhere without fighting back. And you cannot win by being a coward. You know, my definition is simple. You're either going to die a man on your feet fighting back, or you're going to die a coward on your knees. Take your pick. But I wanted to get this out there, so there's the links at the top of this chat. I think you should go watch this video, even though it'll piss you off. Go to my Facebook channel and watch my reply, because I can't put it up on YouTube. YouTube will not allow this up. They've proven it twice. I uploaded it, it disappeared, wasn't even in my video manager nowhere. I re-uploaded it and it said I wasn't allowed to have a duplicate video. So I took my reply video, dropped it into a video editing, and made a personal clip of myself and put it in it, changing it up a little bit to where I was at the beginning, give it a different name, and re-uploaded it. Then, out of nowhere, the video that was not even in my video manager that said was already up showed up with blocked next to it, blocked worldwide. Okay? And the one I just did, re-editing and putting myself into it and changing the name, it was up as well with blocked worldwide next to it. So nobody got to see it. It was blocked immediately worldwide, and they claimed copyright. And I was, oh, copyright. Yeah, right. No, fair use is not copyright. They're the ones violating the laws and rules, but you know how Google is. They make their rules up as they go. So my reply video is up on Facebook. Facebook didn't block it worldwide immediately. It's up there and it's playing. Sad that I can't put it on YouTube. That's the reason I gave everybody my Facebook link, so that you could go see the video yourself. And in case you missed it at the top of the chat, there it is right there. And you'll see it. The name of that video is How Empowering Women and Girls Can Help Stop Global Warming. That is the video I did a reply to. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see it. Okay? It is there. Look for that name. You'll see it. And you can watch it. I think you might get a little bit pissed off yourself when you hear what's falling out this woman's mouth. Okay? And you have a right to be. This is why men need to stand up, and this is one of my major reasons for siding right off the bat with somebody I didn't know, called When in Doubt, and willing to be this guy's friend and get to know him. Because the one thing the guy advocates is hitting the streets and fighting back. And that has to happen if we're ever going to stop this stuff. You're not going to stop this corruption by just fucking complaining about it. You're not going to stop this corruption by complaining about it or sitting behind your keyboard doing nothing. You know, the real key right now is to hit the streets and start fighting back. And men should walk away from women. Because we have enough women who claim to be good women. Well, if you're good females out there and you're really good, then this type of stuff should infuriate you. You should be pissed off. You should see what they're doing. And you should be standing up against these corrupt women. But that we don't see, do we? We don't see women standing up to other women and calling them out. We see men calling them out, but we don't see women doing it. So by default, if you good women out here don't want to be put in the label with the bad women, you better start standing up. Otherwise, the only thing I can say is all men, go your own way. Walk away from women. Don't give them the time of day. Show them your middle finger. Don't give them the time of day. Go get yourself a sex bot. A sex doll. And mean it. And do it for real. If that's what it's going to take to get these women to pull their heads out of their anal, then that's what you have to do. And you say that's unfair, that's sick, that's evil, that's wrong. No, what these women are advocating, and our women already have more rights than men. And these women ain't going to stop until you have absolutely no rights at all as a man and you're nothing but a peasant, a slave. And then they're going to still think they have a right to the guys they pick semen just to deny them their own children. While they sit there and think they're gods over the top of everybody. Because of brainwashing and social engineering. And then, of course, we know this is not all women doing that, but the good women that are out there ain't standing up to other women, which means they're enablers of the problem. And if you're going to be an enabler of the problem, then you're just as guilty as the women doing it. And if I don't like what I'm saying, I don't care, because it's the truth. But with that being said, that's the reason I've done this live stream. I left you the URLs, and I'm going to get out of here and go to my Facebook and check it out. And you can go up to the top of this chat and collect the other ones of YouTube. Don't block them too, huh? I would copy and paste the URLs out of this chat into a text folder in case they disappear. This way, if they disappear, you've already got the URLs so you can go see the stuff yourself. If nothing else, you could punch in the name on YouTube and you should be able to find the video I'm talking about. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to get on out of here and you all have a good one.